Oh, snap. I saw
Yo,
a prop out. What's going on, buddy?
I was thinking about it, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to throw it on. But yes, my Halloween outfit. Figured I'd bring it for the occasion.
Oh,
Happy
sick.
Halloween weekend, fall festival, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I should have just named it. I should have been unique and named it like Halloween episode or something like that. But I think all of us had a busy week this week, so we figured we'd do like a laid back episode. This is Rolling Thunder episode 22. And what's going on, Spencer? How you guys doing? A few schools in the chat before it started. How are you doing today, Andy? What's up, man? We were briefly talking about a thing. Had a long day, week at work too. No, what's up? It's been busy. What's up?
Yeah, just busy getting ready for Halloween. I know we got some rain up here in the Pittsburgh area for the holiday, but in between trying to get ready, we got some rain too. So it's hard getting everything ready with that and then work and all the live streams I've been doing. It's crazy. So, but we're getting it managed. We're getting it done. So, and we're having fun in the meantime.
Yeah.
How you been?
We got old Joe popped in. Everybody cigar.
Oh,
Joe
look
in
at
the chat,
that.
too.
Cigar Joe up in
The,
biz.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
I've been busy this week though, man. It's been crazy. But so me and Joe's got some shenanigans going on this weekend. The game plan is I've got to go take, and I will go ahead and I don't know what we'll go and talk about it now though, but I'm gonna take some pictures of Power Hog amps. I've been crazy busy this week. We got a bunch of amps in. I've got to go take photos of those so we can post them online, and the new full range and 2-channel amps and stuff like that. It's been pretty cool. I've got to go take photos of those so I can take the photos and put them on the website and all that jazz. I'm gonna do something extra while I'm up there. I'm gonna pick up another 7500 while I'm at the warehouse tomorrow. Ooh. And so I think after I get done with the work stuff with that, I'm going to pick that amp up. And then I think Sunday morning, we're going to pop over to Joe's house and I'm going to install my new amp racks, install the second 7500 and tune the amps. And then we're going to go straight to a car show that's going to be actually at the Power Hog warehouse. It's hosted by somebody else, but we're letting them use the property.
That's awesome. Is it like a trunk or treat kind of thing, or
exactly what it is? Yeah, it's a trunk or treat show. But there happens to be a local. It's a smaller organization, GS3, but it's like a North Georgia, SPL competition thing.
Yeah.
So I figure like, why not throw amps in the truck and we'll just go straight on it and beat on it? You know what I mean? See what it does.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you'll make some pretty good flyers for those Power Hog amps too, from what I've seen with other stuff.
I try to. I'm enjoying it so far. What's up, Joe? How was your week this week, buddy?
Oh, they killed me at work. I was busy.
Yeah, for you guys don't know, he does like high-end home. Is it refrigerant and appliance, or is it just refrigeration repair, like stuff? Or
refrigerators, washers, dryers, dishwashers, ice machines, trash compactors, things like that.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Anything with like a compressor in it, huh?
Yeah, that's refrigeration. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I never thought about it being mainly compressor stuff, yeah. But I've seen him have some crazy high-end, like built-into walls, refrigerators and stuff out in the part, and I'm like, Jesus Murphy, I do not want to be liable for this thing going back together being nice.
Oh, nothing to it. There's nothing to it.
Taking apart, that's always the easy part.
Touche.
Put it back together.
You know, it's actually funny you say them in that order because that's actually how exactly I was taught to work on cars. And I was overcomplicating it as a wee lad working in a shop in high school, and I was working on my first CRX that I built, that orange car that I think I've shown you the one I wrecked. And I'm asking, I was like, Brandon, how do I do this, man? I was putting suspension on the front of the car at the time, and I couldn't get I was using stock shocks and all that stuff, and I was trying to figure out how to put all the suspension back together and put it back together. I was worried about not being able to figure it out. And Brandon's like, Scott, don't overcomplicate it. Take it apart, put it back together like you took it apart, and then that's working on cars, period.
Right. Most of the time that works, for sure.
Most of the time, yeah. That was the method I had to teach myself too, which young bucks won't know about that anymore too. But the first time I did drum brakes, I had to do the same thing because all the springs you get to take off and all that stuff. It's like terribly, if you don't know what you're looking at, it can be overwhelming.
And drum brakes might confuse you because it's reversed on the other side.
Yeah, that's true. Well, luckily, I was old enough, or even if it was like a crappy flip phone, I was able to take at least a photo at the time, or at least like a cell phone picture, even though it was probably 240 meg, taking tiny photo, but
240p.
Yeah. Now though, you can just be like straight up like Chevrolet brake drum and just straight up pull it up on Google immediately. But
that's what's so crazy between the time at least me and you got into audio. For Joe, it had to be even worse unless he knew a guy or you just learned by experience. These people, they have knowledge at their fingertips, and that's priceless, honestly.
Yeah, nowadays you got that instant access, so you got the I already know how to do it experience guy, which doesn't help,
Right.
Touche though, but like you was saying though, like like your first amp install, Joe, did somebody help you do that? Is something you had to figure out or what?
No, I bought it and I installed it, and typical wires and tape, black tape, and not enough gauge, and it worked. It was ugly, but it worked.
As long as it works.
Well, it worked, and then it wasn't enough power output, and I went back to the stereo shop guy. I talked to him, and he said, "Are you running it at 8 ohm or 4 ohm?" And I said, "I have no idea. I hooked up the subs to it." And he said, "Let me look at it." He said, "Well, you're running it at 8 ohm. Let's run you at 4 ohm." And it was, I did, and he hooked it up, and it was a huge difference going from 8 ohm to 4 ohm. And the amp got way hotter, and he said, "Okay, let's put a fan on it." And then he sold me a fan, and that's when it started. That's when it started progressing. And he said, "Okay, now let's get you set up on an amp rack so we can put a little box around it." And he said, "Can you build?" I said, "I can build anything." He said, "Okay, so build your little box and put a cover on it. Put 2 fans on the outside of it." He sold me 2 little square fans, typical fans, you know. And I built a little box over it. I put 2 little fans on it with a little cover over it, and it was under the seat of my truck. And that's when it all started. And from that point on, then we had bigger wires and little toggle switches turning the fans on and off. And then it became a second amp. So then it became a multi-amp system versus a single amp. And then it all grew from there.
What amp was that? What amp was that?
So the first amp was a Fultron 200 by 2 and a Sony XM 2025, I believe, 4-channel. And then that very quickly exploded into everything, you know.
That XM, is that Sony?
It was a Sony. It was I think it was a long time ago. It was probably 1989. I think it was or 88. I think it was a 2025 Sony 2025, I think the model number was.
Yeah, the 25 by 20 or 25 plus 25. Is that the one you're talking about?
It might be. It was a long time ago. It was probably that big, rectangle.
I seen one for sale where I get all my amps, and I was gonna buy it, and I was like, $65 is a little steep for how much power, but it had the box and everything. I'm like, that'd be awesome to do a video.
Was it brand new? Was it brand new?
It seemed new. It was out. It was, in an open box, so it wasn't brand new. You could see the amp. They had it displayed. But to have the box with it too, and being that old, that doesn't happen all the time.
It was a clean amp. It ran pretty good. It just overheated really bad. And then at that point, you have to move on to bigger and better equipment. And then eventually it became bigger and better equipment. You know how that goes.
Right.
Well, the cool thing about like your experience in it though is, now I'm not saying we don't have innovation or new stuff though, but if you got in 88 or 89, you saw a freaking explosion, man. So like every 2 to 3 years, that stuff's doubling and multiplying. Like you're getting heavier magnets, bigger voice coils, surrounds. Like you went from pretty much everything in your car having 5mm or less of X-Max to actually getting some throw in under a decade. You know what I'm saying?
So
kind of cool.
When the subwoofer change was the big difference I saw. Subwoofers grow, and then the amplifier change. When Rockford started putting out the big amps, the Punch 645 was the big first amp with the fused terminal, the fused speaker lines, and then the Punch 60, and the Punch 400, the Punch 800s, and the Power 1000s, and that's when they really started getting bigger for the Rockford brands. I know other brands had names too, but we're talking about Rockford, which was really powerful of its day. They started getting more and more powerful. Then now you had to have more subs that can take it.
See, that's what I grew up in. My dad was a Rockford rep, 96 to 06, and like that's what. And I hate to say it that way, but it made me very jaded on seeing lesser systems. Now at my age, I like seeing big, small, different brands. I like to appreciate it because not only that, it can give you a higher appreciation for what you have, for what you like, and stuff like that. Seeing different stuff, I feel like to be an aficionado or an audiophile, you need to try different stuff and like different stuff too. That's one thing, because if you just know one thing. Somebody would be like, my amp is bad. This is a killer amp. It's great. Like, really, I understand you probably have great luck with it and it's done you well. But what are you directly comparing that to with output performance? It can go two-way street. Something might do better, or you might be like, wow, this really is the beans, and I'm liking this for a reason.
You got to check out everyone else's yard to see if it's greener or not. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
I still swear till this day that 8 ohm subs sound the best.
Well, you're going to get the highest, dampening factor and all that stuff. The amplifier's ability to control the subwoofer and stuff like that, and it goes back to efficiency and stuff like that. I was fortunate enough, again, like with my dad doing his thing, and they had multiple shops throughout the 90s and early 2000s, but I was always trying to pay attention and be impressionable. Now, more times than not, when I was asked to help out, it ends up sweeping the floors or holding a flashlight, which you think you're going to be doing serious work. But, by the time I was a teenager or had cars, I already had at least a basic understanding of installation stuff. Now, it was really within the last 3 years or so where stuff really started to explode for me. I've had tons of, 4-gauge of wire installed, single amplifier with a sub, you know what I mean? But the going big has been a recent thing. It's just still a learning experience. I love it.
I still remember when I had the tape deck and I had my handheld CD player, my Sony Walkman in my tape deck on a tape deck converter, and I thought that was awesome at the time. And
Sure.
remember, at the time it was awesome. There was no CD players yet, so it was awesome of its day.
Yeah, I think our friend in the chat, Hi-Fi, he was a holdout. Which, you know, I guess even in 88, 89, you had CD players, but they're unobtainium. You know, like a lot of those were like $1,500, $2,000 and stuff like that. Like, for instance, I had an 89 Mazda RX-7 that had a factory tape deck. And you know, that was almost a $3,000 option at the time for an upgrade. Yeah. Now, of course, like still in 2006, you know, like it wouldn't play most of your new CD, like a new CD off the shelf, it wouldn't play, or if you had an MP3 CD, it wouldn't play. So you're still playing, you know, older formats. But you know, it's
lossless files though. CDs are nice for that.
Nah, you could freaking fart in the seat and make it skip though. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No anti-skip. Come on, man. We need that.
I remember the first CD player I got was the Sony. I think it was like, I don't remember the model number, but I remember first it said had like a 2 data bit converter in it, and then next there was a 4 data bit converter, and then now they're ridiculous now. But,
you saw exactly what I say. You just saw the bits keep going up. The higher the bit, you know, it's the better.
Higher the bit, 2, 4, then it was 8, then it was 16 bit, and even now, I mean, now we're MP3 players and USB sticks and et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, it's the same thing with memory, man. Now we're talking gigabytes, not even megabytes. How many gigabytes you got? You know,
well, even now too. Like,
terabytes.
We're talking
about
terabyte.
Yeah,
we're seeing, you know, like the new Sony ES and head unit stuff like that. They're able to do high fidelity streaming via wireless now to your thing. So it's like we're able to do like FLAC files over a wireless connection.
Yeah,
like,
that's fantastic.
We live in the future. Yeah, it makes me want to pull my radio out and go spend a band on a Sony ES radio right now.
I just put a hard drive on mine.
I thought about doing the same thing. I have because, you know, they're solid state drives, so they're not going to be damaged by vibration. So like obviously both of our radios have a USB input to access storage, and I'm like, I can take and tack. I have a 1 terabyte drive somewhere right here, and I was like, I can just literally just stick that behind my dash somewhere, full of music. You can fit how many songs on 1 terabyte drive? Even
billion
videos that I legally own to be able to watch. I can put on there. You know, you're just multimedia hub. And that's one thing I think we're probably gonna make a video on that. That's actually kind of cool because a lot of modern double DIMMs have a USB input you can pull all the files off of. I've not thought about putting on. That's kind of funny you just brought that up, but yeah, doing it more behind the radio.
Heck yeah.
It almost makes sense now. It doesn't make sense to keep putting. I have 15 different sticks in my truck, and I want one song off each one. Instead of making one file, I'm gonna put them all on the hard drive and just go through it, make individual files of what I like the best.
That's what I was doing right here, actually, because I've been bumming here and there USBs off Joe. I've been like backing it up, and I'm like, wait, why am I not just plugging this into my radio?
Yeah.
But,
speaking of, I just got a new USB. You got to get a copy of.
Well, we'll do it. The only
it's
thing
really good.
It just takes, and Joe brought this to my attention first. It's like it just takes so much time once you get a library of these songs, just to actually divide them out. You know,
I was gonna say it'd be hard to go through knowing where your songs are. You know,
the average stick I have has 65 to 75,000 songs on it. You got to hear each one and determine whether you want it on or not. And naturally, what you're hearing in your headphones is not the same as in your truck.
Yeah, I would make the same mistake, you know, too, because especially when you have multiple songs with different frequencies, like you're like, oh, this is jamming. You put it in your car and it's like, you know,
right. That's kind of like what I did with like the DJ Rustical USB drive. Put it on my phone so that I could put it in my Apple Music and literally make playlists and stuff. Like I have different ones right here. I don't know if you can see that. Wait, over here. Cookie Monster, DJ Rustical, like just the first one, good rebase that I just like, stuff like that, lows, you know what I mean? So I can get, while I'm going through it, I can put it in a separate playlist. Now I'm kind of stuck on those songs, but then after say I do them all, then I can delete the ones that I don't like, buy another USB drive that has new songs, and then keep going. Now that I like that for the organization. That's it.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've truly just tried to do is not go into it's like, this is what I want a demo song only. Like, let's do this one playlist of stuff that, you know, I feel like all does the frequency range well. And then after a couple shows, I'll go, you know, yeet the ones I don't like out of it. Because, like, I don't know.
That's the hardest thing. You just need time in your car to find out what works with whatever system you're running, you know?
Yeah.
What I need is my radio needs to have a delete on it so I can delete the song as I'm going along.
Yeah.
That's what it needs.
I used to be taking pictures, like screenshots, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
like,
you should see my phone.
Yeah,
I
it's
like it.
bad.
Yeah, I do the same thing, but I never go back and look at them. I'm so guilty.
Never.
I'm like, this thing slams. I'm like, cha-ching photo. I'll never go back and look at it.
Yeah, I'll remember.
No.
What was that? Album 4, track 23. Yeah, let me.
Yeah, figure out
Yep.
which one
So,
that was on.
so tonight I just put that new USB stick on my tablet, and I linked my tablet to my radio, so I'm gonna start using my new tablet. It's easier.
There you go. That'll work
Probably
too.
is easier, yeah. I wish I could do like a favorites on my USB or off my radio or something like that.
Right. You would think with technology now that it could almost be like writable onto the USB. Like, okay, I want to, put this in a saved, a liked folder. Just like the apps or whatever.
Yeah,
like
of
how I'm
course
doing it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a favorites in 2020, 21, 2022. It would be definitely a liked folder, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Next thing you know, like, we need your credit card information and your Facebook login for this radio every time you break.
Right. They can do everything else with the USB except for tell it I want to keep that one in my next file. God forbid that would be.
I foresee it having more integrated with network stuff with your radios. Okay, it blew my mind the other day. I went and got a nice new Roku TV. My other one shit the bed, so I bought a new TV. And then, how, I don't know why it surprised me, but to have a television, then I have to put my credit card information in and have a Google login to be able to use the television. Blew my freaking mind. I'm like,
Wow.
I never thought I would be ending my card into a TV. And you have to have the TV on wireless to use it and all that stuff. I didn't know any of that stuff before I bought it. I mean, it's fine, obviously. But
Yeah, still.
It makes you think.
That's the day and age we live in.
Yeah, next thing you know, you'll be pulling up at a gas pump or something like that, and it'll be scanning your car, and your cards get charged.
Need
Exactly,
your
yeah. Boom, your car gets billed for how much fuel got put in it or how much charge you use and stuff like that automatically.
That's okay with me. I don't have a problem with that.
No, exactly. I think it's innovation, but again, it'll be also, it goes hand in hand. If they can do your card information and all that stuff, and they can also monitor how fast you go and probably maybe how much loudness we're making, how many decibels it is. We have no idea.
Too damn loud. Turn it down.
I didn't know. Yeah. I found out something today. Did you guys know in the Teslas, if you buy like a base model one and stuff like that, all of them have all of the speakers built into them factory, but it's the base model ones like that don't have them plugged up. There was it's like an upgrade you can do OEM, for like a OEM upgrade. It's like, and if you can buy an aftermarket, and it makes like the ambient ones in the roof for the left and right sound stage, like the 8s in the doors, and there's different ones in the rear deck. They're just straight up not plugged in if you don't have the option.
Wow, so they're there, but they're just not.
They're there, they're just not used.
Wow.
Yeah, so like you paid for them, technically, you don't get them.
Wow.
I was kind of excited. Yeah, I was at a car dealer shop today in my route, they were doing. I saw a Tesla in there. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be sick. Someone's gonna be doing an install. And I'm like, no, I'm just doing the factory upgrade for the unlocking what's there.
Wow, that's sad.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Spend that money and not get the option.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, that makes sense. Like, like some cars would have a clutch delete. It would have a hole there for the clutch, and they would keep it for the automatic or manual just to save money. But throwing a whole speaker in there, and you know what I mean, and just all you have to do is wire it up, or probably have the right head unit to control everything,
like
DSP everything.
But, yeah.
Oh, okay, but still, right. That's crazy. But Tesla, they got enough money; they don't care.
For sure.
They'll make the money by getting the upgrade kit. $3,000. We'll wire that up for you, no problem.
Yeah. That's sad.
I think it also has to do with. I mean, obviously they're doing it as a paywall, but the things got to do with the software and the radio and stuff. Also, they have to unlock. It has to be, something has to be flashed on the computer for it to work correctly because it has to do with the front, left, and right have their own soundstage. So, like if you're in the driver's seat or the passenger seat, you have your own front, left, right, and center on each side. Pretty sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to hear the Hi-Fi was talking about. I don't know if he still watches or not. He's got a SQ car or something like that. I want to say a Tesla demo. I wonder how that works.
I love those demos. They're different. You have to walk in the car knowing what to expect almost. But in the same way, when you get in there and you get out, you're like, wow, that was an experience. Especially
that would be dumbfounding to me, though, as far as getting in the driver's seat, which I understand why and the reasoning for it and all that stuff. But it's like, they were talking about it last night. I rewatched that today. I was driving to work and stuff like that. And But I could imagine, which obviously a Joe can test. Like if I have a full truck of 5 people, especially if there's a young kid or something like that, I will just straight up get out of my car and like, here you go, hop in, bud. Because like I asked him, I'll to walk away from it. It's fine what it is. But and that seems off to me. Like, oh look at that, he's sitting in my seat or whatever. You know, I couldn't imagine it just being single person demos all day, or so, you know, maybe 2 at most. But like that's my thing, is packing people in the truck. So it's just
Right.
weird.
It's weird, and then also the car's not on, so if it's hot outside, you're sweating, you know, and it's like, oh, it sounds beautiful, but I can't breathe. That was the only bad experience I got from an SQ type demo, but yeah, it is definitely different sitting in the driver's seat, but that's how they tune their systems. I know I've done it once or twice. I'm getting ready to walk to the passenger side, and they're like, oh, no, I'm tuned over. Oh, that's right. Totally forgot. Sorry, basehead over here, not SQ person per se. But yeah, they are awesome, and I love how like they have all these kind of attachments hooked up. Like they don't just use their source. They're running FLAC files. They're running something else to get that 100% pure signal, which is different. 1, and then 2. Whenever you hear those systems, it's not that boomy bass, but it's crazy where it's awesome with the low end response, but it's not where it's like, oh well, that low end's really good and it falls off. Like the fall off never almost happens in a really SQ system. They're pretty cool. I really like the ones where they have infinite baffle for the subs, infinite baffle for the doors. Like these people literally have mesh on the outside just so water doesn't come in, but it's literally like an open air environment in their car for the door speakers to get rid of wave cancellation and reverberation and stuff like that. And those are the ones that sound phenomenal.
Wow.
As long as they got a wide range, it's good for me.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not going to be like that punchy hitting you in the head, but it's like a movie theater experience. That is the best way to explain it. How a movie theater is supposed to sound. Your front stage, when the person's like singing, if they're walking across stage, you can literally hear her feet going over there. You know what I mean? There's supposed to be some depth where you're sitting, you know, down and they're up on stage. That's how it's supposed to sound. And it's really cool because I learned a lot from the SQ judges from me doing the Mecca, you know, and they have their own system. So they're explaining it to me and I'm like picking things out. They're like, wow, you kind of got a thing for this. I'm like, yeah, I love music, you know, and what you have is totally different than what everyone else has, but it's something that I enjoy too. But it can drive you just as crazy as SPL because, you know, you're trying to get like distance between the speakers and they're rectifying off the window and you have to turn it this way to make it, you know what I mean? It's just like SPL when it comes down to it, but it's fun. I like it.
No, for sure. I think it's a very interesting, and it's, I don't know. See, I'm a stickler. I really like having a very nice front end sound stage, and you know all the crossover set very, you know, accordingly what they should be, and have a good center image and all that stuff. But I'm not knocking whatsoever. I realize it's just a different love, different passion, and I look on it. But there's no way in dog snot I'm gonna take and cut my car off and sit in the hot to take and like.
Yeah.
You see that center image right there? You see her feet right there? Like you can hear that moving. What are they? Right. And they don't even do any kind of they don't decibel meter. They're just subjective with the
just RTA install, and then on obviously, you know, like the judge's experience of it, of your staging and stuff like that. A lot of it has to do on the judge. And that's what I had a lot of competitors tell me. They're like, listen, he's judge. I'll be good today because he likes my kind of sounding system. And then, you know, whenever you tune for RTA, you're just trying to get that flat signal. Now that sounds like garbage. It's not going to sound good. Got to have a little bit of gravy in there, but you can't have too much gravy or they'll dock you for points.
That's the bad part too, is and as far as that's one, okay, a meter is a meter, okay, as long as they're both Term Lab certified, like, you know, we can guarantee on that. I just don't know if I could do the subjectiveness.
I know exactly where you're going with that. Right, a lot of it is subjective because it may sound good to you, but it sounds fine to me, or it doesn't, you know, vice versa.
B, hear me out. So, like, there's the thing, like records. People are like, man, I love the sound of a record, the warmth to it and all that stuff. The sound of the record, like, dude, you like the sound of the distortion off of it, okay? That's it, okay?
Yep. You're absolutely right about the distortion. I'm not saying a square wave distortion, but that little bit of, you know, they almost give it like a warm sound, if you want to call it that.
You can
distortion,
also have
that's
distortion
why I like the
outside of your frequency range you're playing also.
See, I don't know about that, but I just know, like, that's why a lot of people like those the different amplifiers with the tube amplifiers, because they have more distortion. You know what I mean? They're built that way. Stuff like that.
I don't know much about tube amps. I want to take and dip my toes in some nice high-end home stereo tube amps.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Heck yeah.
But, you have anything with tubes, Joe? I have a 1956 Buick radio downstairs that has tube amplifier in it. I'm kind of
What?
Yeah, I do. I got it from my great grandfather's barn, dude. It's kind of
That's pretty cool.
I'll post it up online sometime. I think it is. So it's one of those things. My great grandfather, he's not only a car guy, but he was a hoarder too of car stuff. And at the time, as a young buck, seeing a field full of cars and all the woods behind his house full of cars, and his barn had like a trail you walk through, and it's just car parts just piled. And I'm thinking, like, man, how does this guy have so many cars? And like now me renting storage units to store them. I'm like, now I see how we fill these things up with cars. But there's like this little tiny storage room shed that off the side of his barn, and it's just like about the roof falling. A tiny little thing. Used to keep tires and wheels in it. And I was like maybe 5 or 6 years old, and I remember going into that little room, and I picked up this radio, and I remember turning around the back and seeing the glass inside of it, stuff like that, and then putting it back. And he passed with COVID actually 2 years ago, or right when it first kicked off, but or was attributed to a COVID death. But anyway, at any rate, I went to my brother, in which we still have the property and everything like that. But I have a bunch of family that lives up there. But we were like, hey, let's go over the property one more time and take in. I want to see it as it is, before everything changes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And man, I was getting the barn, and I went in a little side room, and I crap you not. It was literally that radio in the exact same place as it was. I put it set it back at when I was like 5 years old, dude. Like it's nothing changed.
Awesome.
So I was like, that's coming with me. You know what I mean? And that's the only thing I got. And I'm gonna cherish it. You know what I mean? I was kind of scared. I'm never gonna.
That's a story, man. That's sad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about your loss, and
No,
at least you got the radio. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a Spark-O-Matic radio.
Nice.
Spark-O-Matic.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good stuff.
Heck
How's
yeah.
the comment section doing over here? I haven't looked. How's everyone
We've got
doing?
14.
I can't see it.
Okay.
I went on all ramble mode there, guys. I didn't mean but
No, you're good.
Yeah, the radio's cool. I'm terrified. The cool thing about that old tube radio is it only has a fused power wire that comes out of it. Okay, that's the only thing that comes out. So the ground for the radio is where you're bolting the chassis to something. So it's assuming that whatever you're bolting into, is grounded chassis.
I mean, it makes sense. They probably have it grounded inside to the chassis of the radio inside.
Back then, it's gonna mount to your dash. It's gonna be metal, obviously, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's bolted to it. You got ground, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid to plug that in.
I'm not gonna do it. They said they said it could pretty much pop immediately for some power to it.
Yeah, everything's gonna be dry rotted, and the caps are gonna be all dried out. It's gonna expand and pop.
The speakers. I bet you if I poked the speaker, it would turn to dust. You know what I mean? Like it's a 50s radio that's been in an open air, pretty much barn for, since it was taken out of the car.
You plug that in, it's gonna nuke in front of you.
Yeah, it would. I think Joe, you saw it.
I'm telling you. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. It's gonna go poof and small nuclear bomb going off. It's just not worth it.
They got some kind of gas in there. They got something.
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't like today where it's transistor. That thing's gonna go poof.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
Oh, it probably would for sure. All I did is I just gave it a really good deep cleaning. I got all the buttons working. I got it where the knobs work, and it moves the thing back and forth. And I'm like, I'm content with that. I'm not doing anything else to it. It's a display piece.
You don't want to catch it on fire, just by
I've never been to Bucky's.
No.
They told me, ground strap on the back. I could see that.
Wow.
I never had a Ford Escort.
Do you guys remember that amp that came out in like '91 that was liquid cooled?
There's been quite a few of them as a marketing thing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, liquid cool. I heard of the subwoofers, not amplifiers.
Yeah. I don't remember the brand name. It was a long time ago. Maybe somebody in the room will. But a buddy of mine had it, and it worked pretty good until the little pump he had hooked up exploded and shot liquid everywhere, all over everything.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like Brazilian sounds.
Now, I wonder what kind of liquid they use. He
had radiator fluid. He had radiator fluid in it.
I'm on
it was green.
This is great, Nick. Oh,
yeah.
And I think Boss did it. I think Boss had the ferrofluid and stuff too. But all reality, guys, it's all a marketing gimmick.
Oh yeah, it did keep it cool. I'll tell you that. The liquid got warm, but then the hose got pinched off at the edge, and it shot off and shot liquid everywhere, and it was a fight. You should have seen it.
Bazooka did it. You're right.
It might have been.
We got high base. What's up, buddy? It's the same concept with this, like a CPU cooler. Okay, like for instance, you can use a one with a heatsink, just a straight up a fan, on a heatsink. And the cool thing about the properties on it is it's aluminum. It's gonna heat fast. It's gonna cool fast. Okay, you got a fan on it. It's not gonna, the same concept goes. As long as you can cool that thing, it's not gonna get heat soaked. Okay, well, it's the downfall. It's like a water loop here. Okay, it's the same concept. Is that you're gonna do a great job at cooling it until you get it up to an operating temperature, and then it actually takes longer to cool back down because the fluid's hot, even if you have a fan on it or not. Then,
right.
So it's gonna stay cycling too.
I was gonna say fluid takes a long time to cool down.
For sure.
Compared to solid.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, it's still an operating temperature in a perfectly, fine range of the computer to be at. But as far as actually what the temperature you're going to see, you're actually probably going to see a cooler temperature with a heat sink and a fan. But obviously under load, you probably get hotter faster too. The trade-off.
Right. Otherwise, a lot of other companies probably would be doing that today.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. It was a cute idea.
I do like the bazooka triangle subs. I always wanted to get one just cause. You know what I mean?
I saw two, and they had that fat rib surround on them, and I'm like, that's kind of throw. Because there's a couple bazooka subs. What was it Pile? What's the one like EXO had? Was it a Pile sub? You had one too, Andy. I thought
Not Lanzar? No, not Lanzar. Jensen?
The Jensen one, yeah, that one that you gave the beam to and it just throws. I always wanted one of those. What Jensen stuff?
Got the beefy surrounds on them.
Yeah.
All that surround and no throw, huh?
No throw, but they still look. I mean, at the time when I was like 10 years, here we go. They first popped up on here. Boom, share screen. Oh, is it glitching on y'all's screen too? There we go.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
I wanted one of those always. Don't know why. Because I wish it would show the backside of them because they look like that. A whole 70-ounce of slug.
Woo!
Nice.
Thick boy.
That's good for 300 watts.
Probably decently efficient, but with that big surround.
Watts. Joe, it says 1,200 watts.
Ooh.
I'll put 1,200 on it and see what happens.
It'll take every watt. Every single one.
It doesn't even say an I'm looking at the ad for it now. It's the
probably
XS
300 RMS.
Probably 300
That's
clean.
how some subs would rate them, like Pioneer. They would do like the RMS, and then the peak would be ×4 or ×3. They would do it different than other manufacturers that usually do, ×2 for the peak, if they even list it.
Well, even my DCs, it's 4,500 RMS and 9,000 peak. I'm not so sure I'm going to put 9,000 on them for more than a second or two.
Right. Well, that's definitely a peak rating.
That's a big number. Come on, 9,000 pump?
Right.
That's a lot.
That's just like these. It's 5,000, 10,000. Yeah, 10,000 at a burp, but that'd be scary to do.
Yeah.
55 hertz, sure.
That's what I get.
A lot.
People don't, yeah. I wouldn't do it. Even my power level, even your KX amp, people are like, oh, send a sub or something like that. Like, bro, it'd be cool to kill that, but I don't want to risk the chance of damaging my amplifier, bro, for a nuke a $20, 20-year-old sub.
Right. Right.
You guys miss in-dash EQs?
Nope, I hated them. Always have, always will.
God, I love mine.
Them. I never used them. I've seen them in a lot of people's cars. I've tuned them,
Hear me out. Distortion, stacking filtering, lowering your pre-out voltage.
I loved mine. I did.
Yeah, unless they have like a preamp booster where it's taking the source and
but
then.
You gotta think about it, Joe. When you, and I mean to cut you off, Andy. When you used
good.
yours, your radio had basic EQ function, basic. Even if it had a bass treble, you're not choosing a range, so that's understandable. B, early on, most of your amp crossovers didn't have crossovers. If it did, it was just high or low pass, probably at 40 hertz or 80 hertz, some shit like that.
Right.
So the in-dash made sense. On a modern system, in my own opinion, it's just something that's not needed. I'm just talking smack when I say I hate them and stuff like that. They have their place when you're using with proper equipment, where that's your actual tunability for the stereo. But as far as people, they're tuning their EQ in the radio. They got their amp settings changed, all kind of stuff. They got the EQ in the middle of it. You're doing it wrong, and you're playing yourself because you're just making crossover slips galore, and you're wondering why it sounds like hammered buttholes.
Just open it up in the rear end, and then open it up on the front end, and then use your EQ, and then that's about it. But
I don't know. They were fun. I liked them.
I was guilty of that though. Like back in the days, like I would set the high pass on the amp or whatever to like 80 hertz, and then I would set it on the head unit. But you know what I mean? You're gonna be setting it around 80 or below anyway, so it wasn't too off. But when you got more than just that,
sharper slopes, all you're doing.
Yeah, right.
So
Right, it depends,
Like, I didn't hear any vocals under that sub at all.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, those were the days whenever you come up to someone's system and they're like showing it off, and then you just hear, Wiz Khalifa coming out of the subs, and it's like, well, why?
Yeah. You get
That was also before bass knobs.
Touche.
Right.
And you got loud pack people that are just playing these loud packs way out of their tuning frequency, like way out of the range the speakers should be. So it's like crazy, ear-shattering decibels, loud of distortion, and you're like, please just turn it off. Like, I know I get it's loud, does not sound good. Does not sound good.
You mean you don't want to build a stunt wall in your truck?
I was just gonna say that. Took the words from my mouth.
We could do a stunt wall. We'll try to make it sound good though.
Yeah, it's gotta sound nice, not like crazy. Yeah, it's gotta
I
sound
think
good.
they just like 1,000 hertz and up, man. As long as you can hear that 4 miles away.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's
good
right.
to them.
No, it don't sound good.
It's like way too loud. Like you'll be like a football field away and it sounds okay, but it's still loud. It's like, wow, that's really loud. And then when you're in a bass comp, you have all these other bass systems canceling each other out. So you hear that, and then whatever music they're playing, which is not usually American, is screaming, and it's crazy how loud they are. But that's what they do. I got
rules too. I won't be next to the DS18 stunt walls. They're just too loud.
Right.
Yeah,
Those guys.
Yeah, there's some crazy ones.
It seems like it's easier to get louder with a loudspeaker or AKA higher frequencies. Sub frequencies they travel farther, but I feel like it's easier to get loud with less power off of playing higher frequencies. But that's what they kind of do. You know what I mean? Like they have 58-inch drivers and then 20, 30, 40 piezo tweeters and stuff like that. And it doesn't take, 10,000 watts for each one. It takes maybe 50, 80 watts. And then you put all of them together and it's just loud, man.
I'm trying to find the part number to it now. Oh, the ACR one. Yeah, the ACR one. Byron is just, believe it or not, a lot of people make those just to use those potentiometers because they're $40. That's what a lot of people use for their DIY bass knobs. They're good bass knobs to use. I didn't mean to side jag on that one. He's going to try out one of the universal ones.
Miles will read the comments for the people sticking on here.
Yeah, we got 15 people, 16 people in the chat bouncing up and down. Heck yeah, guys.
Got to give a shout out though. They got the Sound Advice podcast coming back on Monday.
I'm so excited to have it. I miss Sound Advice. I've expressed that multiple times.
Right. It's definitely a different field for me. I get the basics, so I listen. I'm learning.
Joe would like that because it's two primarily home audio guys. And then,
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they have a different perspective on it. And a DIY audio guy, he does the face that stuff. He has a Dodge pickup that he's the three-way set up in, and he's been trying some different boxes and stuff like that with subs in his truck. But yeah, both those guys make some pretty insane home cabinets. And we got, look at this knucklehead showing up.
Oh, Casey, the
like the never guys. Yeah.
What's up?
Special appearance. What's going on?
I finally made it in, man. And hey, look at this. Got to represent in the World Series.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Bad.
Hey, nice hoodie.
Hey, thanks, bro.
Hey, Joe. What's up, guys?
Chilling, just side jagging, talking about SQ and stunt walls because those have a lot in common,
Oh yeah. Yeah, they do.
The
Both
same
opposite side of the spectrum, so both a lot in common.
That could be nice though, is having like a stunt wall that actually has nice left and right differentiation.
We will do that.
Yeah. It's called a movie theater.
Touche.
You should make a drive-in at your shop, Scott. You know what I mean? Just big old projection and then a bunch of speakers.
I'll give me like a little roll around, like a crappy projector on it, and I'll fold the excursion barn door up, and put a screen down, and I'll take the barn doors out, and have a rolling movie theater. It's like Pimp My Ride.
I didn't even think of that, dude. And if you did a B-pillar flat wall, you'd have plenty of room to put all the stuff you need.
Joe's already trying to scumbag me into that. So Joe's trying to scumbag me into taking. Okay, so I have to scoot my box forward about 2 feet, or just do B-pillar, and then doing a stunt wall on the back of the excursion, opening it up.
Yeah, we've been trying to get him to do it.
Dude,
I've seen
B-pillar
that.
flat wall would be sick too, though.
Yeah, well, he wants to, so we can use the flat wall. Okay, so use the flat wall. If I took the flat wall and put it in too, I wouldn't have to move my seat. If I put the flat wall in my truck up at the back, and then we could build a stunt wall behind it, and I have plenty of room. The thing that gets into play though is where do I put the 7500s? because they're kind of fucking big.
Put them right against the box. Right against the box you have now, like mine are mounted on the 45s.
Yeah.
You said those are marine style. You could just put them underneath the car. You know what I mean?
No, mine.
They'll be
Power
all
Rock ones are not marine style. No. They are not. Okay. Just because they sat in the port and freaking customs for 6 months, you know, that does not make them waterproof. Okay.
No, we just stack them in the back. There'll be room. There'll be room.
Let us know, Zach. We'll make
Yeah.
an appearance. Joe will make an appearance.
We got enough speakers to make that loud.
Yeah, Joe's only got like a freaking stockpile of audio across the wall of my thing.
Yeah, we'll load you up.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
good.
He has an amp I'm about to buy, potentially.
You know where it's at. Sitting right
I know
there.
where it's at. I see it all the time.
It's
I'm
got a
like,
layer
man,
of
I better
dust
just
on
go
the
ahead and
box
buy
like that. It's got a protective layer.
If I said what it is out loud, a lot of people would want it. I'm not even gonna say nothing.
Don't say it, because then they'll be like, what? You still have one? There's none left on the planet.
I saw
Yeah,
it
there's no
once.
one.
I swear to God on my soul, everything God struck me down. I saw it. I want to buy poster one today, and I was like, ha 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 ha. Yeah.
Oh,
We still
man.
got to put them speakers in your rear doors too tomorrow.
On Sunday.
Yeah. Well, Sunday.
I mean, I'm not busy tomorrow really, but
I got to work tomorrow. I got 4 jobs to do tomorrow during the day.
Yeah, I do have to go to the headquarters and take photos of those new amps, and that's all I'm gonna do today. But I'm gonna grab that stuff and then grab the other amp. But yeah,
Scott,
so probably. Sorry.
Random question. Did you ever meet her in Mecca at all? Did you ever do
Nope.
like a park and pound?
Never have. I'd like to though. You know, I got invited
Oh,
to do a 5-minute like a thing for it, a thing or whatever. Or they said they were gonna get me in on it, and I never did. Man, I was like, crap. I got invited because it was supposed to be like an average SPL, like 15 feet behind the vehicle with one door open or whatever. And a lot of people couldn't play 5 minutes straight. I'm like, I'll play 5 minutes straight. I don't give a dang.
You'll play
Dude.
5 hours.
Yeah,
what are you talking
dude, like,
about?
what do
He
you want
leaves
to
his
do?
truck there till it's out of gas.
Yeah, right.
Just walk away. Say, leave me alone. I'll be back in an hour.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, just no one take it.
Do I get bonus points?
Yeah, go up if I do 10 minutes straight, okay? Like, yeah. I'm
Put a
Double
gonna
loud
do it.
box where no one can turn it down. It's just like loud as shit for no reason. People are like, "How do we turn this off?" Like, where's the owner?
I'm excited to see the wind gain with the other. Okay, so I'm gonna be wiring up though, because like they're wired at like 2.2 ohms per pair 3 of subs. So I see a 1 ohm load on 1 amp. So I'll be doing 2 7500.
Are you strapping?
Should I strap them?
No.
I was gonna run them individually. And then it also let me take and phase the front, the rear subs if we wanted to. Also, I'll probably gain a dB at least phasing the subs, the front row to the back row.
Yeah, you never know until
Yeah,
you
it's
try
gotta
it.
get
And
that-
then
A real good
Right.
phase adjustment.
I'm gonna let you do that, buddy. That's why you come into play.
Well, the phase is everything, dude. Like, even if you had loading, like if it was different. So,
Casey's
Yeah.
service is
but I
starting
mean, it
to
would
look
be
like
the
my
same
camera
thing
gets.
if
You know?
you have to.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I don't
because he
wanna
took his
strap.
hat off. Got to keep your hat on, man.
yeah. I do not want to. I don't want to strap. I'm gonna run them individually. But the boom, boom, boom.
Casey, what is that background? Is that like all the star constellations and stuff, or
Yeah, man.
that's awesome?
Oh, Toy's watching. There we go.
Oh,
like a-
look at that.
We were just talking about you. His ears must have been burning.
Yep.
The,
No, that's-
yeah,
that's cool
We're
they
both
came
saying
back,
we're
man.
excited to have it back. Yeah, like I like it, and I like having the home audio side of it. Joe would probably be a fan and get in on that. He likes home audio. He's got a crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, go to home audio, Joe.
I know I made that
Yeah,
post,
just
and they,
show it right
they,
now.
they were all jumping on it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we were talking about this. Maybe we should do it." You know, and within minutes, you know, they're like, "We're gonna do it." I'm like, "That's awesome," because there was no. I mean, there is, you know, the Base Wars podcast and stuff. So I'm starting to watch that too. But you know,
It's way out of my lane though, man. Like I'm like,
Dude, Base Wars is sweet though. They have like the coolest.
they're a
the
big
coolest
kicker
entries
affiliate,
and
if you want to
stuff.
call them that. You know what I mean? I like what they do and
Yeah.
stuff. And Jimmy
I
P
like
and
hearing
all
the
them.
bald guy talk. What I forget his name. The bald guy. I like hearing that.
I
I like the way they
He's the
name
one that owns
classes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh?
I like the way they name the classes. Like the class you're in, it's like always a cool name.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were.
good.
I heard them talking about their classes, and it's like even more lax than like my league, where they don't even count like how much
They'll let
like
you
a
redo it, all
certain
kinds of stuff
power.
like that. Or
Right.
they'll put you in, they'll
Well,
just like,
that's-
oh, you're
that's-
in a different class.
That's kind of what I do too. You know what I mean? It's like, well, we don't like put a cap on it, and
What
if
are
you
the
want to
names
stay in
for
that
these?
class, then okay, cool. And if you would go over, there was no cap to stop you. Mecca, there's a cap, so then you have to redo it again. So. But I just thought I heard of their classes. I'm like, wow, that's real. That's almost like too lax in a way. But at the same time, there's a lot of beginners. They have no idea what they're doing, and they want to learn.
Yeah.
Bro, brain fart. Speaking
Brain
of
fart.
passive radiator,
Yeah.
Golf cart.
Assassin,
Golf cart.
Warlord, Typhoon, Hot Seat, Godfather, Beast, Stealth, Savage, Monster, Chaos. Those are the coolest names.
They got some cool names.
Yeah.
Andy, your golf cart. The kicker
Yeah.
setup. Tell more.
Me? With a
Yeah.
golf cart?
Yeah.
I don't have a kicker set up in it yet, but that's just a Alpine head unit, I think, and then
I
it's
thought
got
you were
those.
doing who was it that was doing the kicker 6.5 in the amp or whatever? Was that not you?
Not me. I got the stuff. I need the speakers to do it. Right now, my go-kart's on the back burner right now. I might get that fixed
Who
for
was that?
spring. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't me.
Somebody in the kicker club. Was it the kicker club then they were talking about? Somebody did a golf cart with
Yeah.
6.5 shallow on a
Oh,
four
no.
channel.
Yeah, I ain't putting no sub on mine. No way.
Bro, I was like a 6.5 kicker with a passive on a golf cart would freaking get
Oh,
down.
Yeah. I'd almost
I like
rather
the
put like
regular boxes.
an 8 or something like that and have it as a mid-driver because you're not going to resonate anything below 60 hertz, really. You know what I mean? It's
Just
not going to
probably.
Put
sound
some
like
bass shakers on it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
sure.
While you're driving, you're going to feel it in your butt more
You'll
than
feel
you're
it
gonna hear
just fine.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be there, Toy, for sure. I'm excited on that one.
7 p.m. Central. Okay, so 8.
This means 8, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, usually whenever all the podcasts start, I'm either still on my way to work or I'm
Or
there
on
if
the
it's
way home.
close, right? Or, you know what I mean? So, like, it depends. If I'm on my way, I'll be in the comment section. If I'm already there working, I'll jump in here and there. But, I mean,
I
usually
was on one of
that's...
your TikToks late the other night, dude. You were live at like 2 a.m.
Oh, you know it, man. I mean,
I was like,
I
"What's
feel
up,
like...
baby?"
Yeah, TikTok is like kind of like that relaxed live. Even more relaxed than this, you know? And it's like,
The conversation
not?
on there was crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I kept saying like the weirdest stuff, and like people were just, I don't know, they would either ignore it or like just go into it fully.
You get a wider variety of people on TikTok because, you know,
Yeah.
they're pushing for you to look at their lives or whoever's lives going on. So you're going to get way more people that are inexperienced. They don't know what the heck they're talking about. So I'm,
Seems
you
mostly
know,
like positive on TikTok. I feel like though.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
as far as like the comments and stuff.
yeah, they seem like some pretty nice people already, but that's, I mean, it's only 17,000 followers, so we can't judge too hastily. There's always that diamond in the rough, but you know what I mean?
Yes,
If
man.
you don't have a hater, you ain't trying hard enough. You know what I mean? You're not talking enough. Period.
For
Yeah,
sure.
true.
Again.
Andy, I don't think you have one hater.
Oh,
Oh,
You couldn't name a single one.
See, but Andy baits it sometimes though. So like, you know, you can throw those memes out there or something like that, and just like, you know, the kicker versus the sundown one or whatever. I'm like, oh, it's just gonna stir the pot, Andy. Yeah. So like, he's got those, but I mean, I've seen like the occasional, like some goober will try to say you don't know what you're doing, but it's like, who are you, man? Like, you know, let's see your YouTube videos or let's see the stuff let's see your dyno setup. Okay, you know.
Right.
But
And I hate being mean to people like that, but some people
Sure.
they just come off like that, and it's
sometimes you gotta flex your pee at them, you know, just a little bit.
yeah,
a wee little bit.
flexing.
Like, you
Flexing
just be
on.
like, okay.
Yep.
Joe's a hater to this Tahoe. Just naturally having a
What?
build like that, just people just fucking
Just
hate on
dunking
it.
on it.
Yeah, you could put like the nicest shit ever. But the
I've never
nicest
seen
build,
Joe's get hated on.
someone's gonna fucking hate on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Somebody like, you should have used this
Yeah,
freaking
why
wire.
didn't you? It's
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe you put the relay box there, dude. Hide that thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Things like that, like when it comes up to preference, like just it's so annoying. But if someone comes up to me and they're like, "Why didn't you do this?" and it's like a performance, something that would enhance like the overall performance, I'd be like, you know
I'd
what?
be happy that
That's
there's a
interesting.
respectful way to do it and a
Right.
disrespectful way to do it.
Like
you
once
know?
you mount your fan here, it actually cools better. It's like, oh, thanks, man. You
Like,
know,
actually, that's a good idea.
You're nicer than I am. I usually give them because this costs more. That's why I bought that one.
I think
Yeah.
that's just how some people are. Some mean well, some don't. Maybe it's the way they talk, or they're just trying to be a jerk about it, you know, and put you down to make themselves feel better, and they don't even realize it, but they do it.
you get what you pay for in
right.
car audio, man.
You do.
And I,
Oh.
You buy-
it's interesting you said that, Joe. You're like, oh, because it costs more, but like,
It costs more.
in car
My dad said,
audio,
you
an
buy cheap shit,
expensive
it works
car
like
audio
cheap shit.
purchase isn't always bad. You know what I mean? Like,
No, it's not. But if you buy quality, you're going to get quality. Period.
Right.
It's
There's a difference
generally
in. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but there's a difference in a company that makes a quality, affordable product versus a cheap main product.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
for sure.
but
Like,
if
look
you're
at,
high on
let's
the
say,
price scale in car audio, I can't think of any one component or like any piece of audio equipment that you spend a lot of money on in car audio that wouldn't be somewhat quality. I can't think of anything. I
No,
mean,
me either.
the MTX jackhammer maybe, if you could find
Well,
one.
that's decoration.
That's a marketing gimmick, though. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That was a-
but the funny thing
You
is,
many
that when
wows
get
you're gonna get with that thing, though? That
yeah.
Everyone.
The kid
Everyone
that
who sees it.
Car,
Yeah.
that poor kid on Pimp My Ride, his car didn't even run, and they just put this giant jackhammer sub in it. Like, here you go.
sounds
All
like my
better
car.
now.
No.
Yeah.
Need a new transmission? Nah, I think we need a new amp. That's what we need.
Yeah.
How about? I never thought about that. Did you ever see Pimp My Ride put an alternator on a vehicle? Okay.
No. They just put some
Yeah.
yellow tops in the back and they called it a day, man.
Holy crap.
I never seen them finish one car, so I don't know.
There's a
Then,
whole
you never
documentary
even
on YouTube.
see him be like, "Oh, this is the extra battery." Like,
Yeah.
nope.
You got 15,000 watts, and you got these old, like, freaking West Coast custom D-class amps, you know, and there's stock alternator that's on this 5,000, 50 billion mile car, and it's going, you know, yeah, it's terrible. While they're freaking, you know, theater display in the back seat, and the popcorn maker's going off at the same time.
I thought the coolest one, right?
Yeah.
I thought the coolest one was where the subs were all spinning in a circle and there was a
Yeah.
bunch of them. That was the coolest
Yeah.
design. How do you do that? That's kind of like that spinny box
Little lazy
they
Susan
have
speaker
somewhere I
box.
seen on Facebook or something.
That electronics guy, he's on another show now. I can't remember the name of, but he's actually like, he does really cool work. He really does. He's kind of out there. What show is? Oh man, I can't think of the name of the show.
Yeah, I remember they metered the jackhammer episode with
Did
the
they?
guy that had the two jackhammers, and it did like a 136, but it was on the old meter, and they just metered it outside, like 10 feet away from the speakers. It was that box truck. He was like rolling his skateboarding.
Yeah, I remember now, yeah.
Yeah, and they meter like, this is 136 decibels. And it's like, yeah.
Which is still loud.
That's what I
Right,
go back
right,
to,
for
though.
being
Keep
what it
bringing
was,
up, though.
yeah.
When I was a kid,
And
like,
Joe
we were
pulls
at
up and
shows-
cancels out his sound.
Yeah, you can't even hear it over again.
5 feet away.
Yeah, the guy's named Mad Mike.
Well, listen, we didn't replace his alternator, okay?
Yeah.
We have the truck for 7 months, and you get it back with the stock alternator. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's name's Mad Mike.
The
The
one
guy
I
who
don't
did all the
like.
crazy electronics.
If it wasn't for those shows, though, I mean, would we be the same people we are today? You know,
Yes.
I don't know.
Freaking mind. No.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
kid, Joe, you don't realize, man, in like our age group, Pimp My Ride, Overhaul, and all that stuff, that is like an iconic thing of my childhood, dude.
Me too.
Like, as far as being a car guy, Pimp My Ride.
In crib, bro. The cars
Yeah.
they would show off in crib.
Mhm.
It's like I can't wait until they get to the driveway.
Yeah.
I was too old for that show. I didn't like it.
Dude,
Really?
Cribs is the coolest. I was the
Yeah.
exact same thing, Casey. I don't give
Exhibit.
a F about your house. Let's go see the garage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And some of them were
Let's go to
underwhelming AF, but some of those guys have crazy collections.
the place. Open the fridge, it's like nothing but vitamin water. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and come to find out too, like there's actually, if you go watch it on the Pimp My Ride thing, there's a whole documentary on like the flaws of Pimp My Ride and all that stuff, and like how the cars got screwed. A lot of them got product got taken out of them and stuff like that after it was done.
They never got
Yeah.
finished, as I remember.
Yeah, the you know, it's all staged. The houses they go see him and stuff like that is not their houses. You know, it's like a,
Yeah.
Just
it's
when
for-
Scott
it's all
told
for
me that,
TV.
it just destroyed my childhood.
Yeah, well, not only on top of that though, it's like that's when I started getting to the age shortly after that, realizing what reality TV was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
They hit it just at the right time. Something like that nowadays,
It
I don't know
was.
if it would fly so well.
well, here's the
Hmm.
and
Dude,
I
the
want-
Kardashian.
I have a buddy that's a filmographer or whatever, and he's like, Scott, he's like, if you're ever watching anything on television, if you want to see if it's staged, if you have a video that has a shot of somebody coming into a room, B, a face shot, staged every time. Now, obviously, some people can take camera and stuff like that to make things look more fake, but if you
Right.
see anything at all with a face shot, a pan, or a coming in the room scene, staged.
Wow. I mean, it makes sense because, you know, even back then, you don't want to give out people's identity because people were still doing some crazy stuff. You know,
Sure.
like, wait a minute, this is the third house by the second tree by the street light. Okay, this is where this guy lives. Let's get his car. I seen it on TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
on Pimp My
they probably
Ride.
did it
Yeah.
for that. Right.
I could see
And to save some money.
that never bothered me. I always assumed the houses were fake because, like, you open the door, you don't even see a photo on the wall or anything like that. You're like,
Yeah.
I like what you done with the place.
yeah,
Yeah.
Or if you see like the
You walk
cheaters-
down the Dollar General art aisle and you're like, I'll take that, and that's it.
the one I always called
Couch from Big
BS on from the start with reality TV was like the Survivor shows because like they'll be like we're
Dude, they're
2 weeks
so
in the
good.
woods Nah, dude, because they'll be like, we've been out here for 30 days, and they're like clean shaven and like clean
Yeah.
as crispy
Well,
clothes on.
okay, the first season was pretty good. They put the whole thing on one of the streaming apps. I don't remember which ones. We have like 6,000.
Mhm.
But they just put all the survivors on there, and I just started season 1 like a couple months ago. I finally finished it, and I'm like, dude, that was sick. I can see why people are like obsessed with it. That and Lost back when we were kids.
And I
Lost
wasn't
was
meaning
huge.
just Survivor, but like those like surviving for 30 days shows. There was a bunch of them at the time of like
Yeah.
But yeah. Like how many camera batteries do you have in the jungle, bro? Like
The one
And they got the radio to call for help, you know.
touche.
is it called Alone? Where
No.
they just drop these people off and see how long
Yeah.
they can last out there.
Bear Gribble. What is that? Bear Gribble, whatever it is. Bear Grivs. Yeah, that's
It'd
it.
be cool though.
Yeah.
I would enjoy it, even if it's some
Yeah.
stage stuff. I would enjoy doing something like that. I'm not gonna lie, like
Well, yeah, we can see you on Naked and Afraid. Yeah.
I would be
See
naked
that.
and afraid. You
I'd
can
be
see
like,
my-
I know where
dude,
that tattoo's
I'm like a
from.
freaking glow stick running around at night. You know?
Those survival guys, like,
Yeah.
man, they're something else. 'Cause you
Oh
think
my
about it, you're
God.
like, are they wrong? Probably not.
This one, Monster Garage, dude. That was like that and
That was good.
Junkyard
Garage.
Wars.
I don't remember that.
Dude, Monster Garage.
Junkyard
and
Wars
Jesse
was
James.
good.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
was like right when all the chopper stuff hit. Okay, you had
That's
like
right.
Orange County choppers, West Coast choppers, then his Monster Garage came out, and they had to do all the. Now, obviously that stuff's staged too, but it's awesome. And I like the Junkyard Wars. I showed that to Casey recently. He didn't know that one. Did you ever watch that one, Andy or Joe?
Yeah.
Do you
Obviously,
think it
it's
was
all
staged
staged.
when he threw the chair at him?
Of-
You know, with the meme or the
oh, and or,
there's no way that was staged, dude.
come
I feel like
on.
almost anything you see on TV is staged in the slightest way. You know, you got to
It
watch
has to
what
be
you
staged.
say.
They put the junkyard there. They put the people there. It's staged.
They put the
Right.
engines where they wanted them, the good parts where they wanted them, all that stuff. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
there's still stuff with innovation. They still build stuff. Don't get me wrong, but as far
Sure.
as like the availability of the stuff was put there for a reason. It's on set.
Right.
My current car show guilty pleasure is Rust Valley. If I could
What's
list
that,
it
Ed?
over.
Eddie
Oh,
Pork's
hold on,
in
Ed.
here.
Man.
Just turned into side jag about shows, car shows.
Hey, we're just
I put
shooting
it
at the
on-
breeze
I
tonight, you
put it
know?
on Shooting the
Relax.
Breeze.
Yeah.
You know, I needed this episode after the 12-volt talk and then the kicker unmasked. I've been super tense, so now it's like, just relax, talk, have fun, go live, hang out with the boys. Needed it.
Did you work on anything cool this week, Casey? Any cool installs?
We had this Mercedes that come in that 2 shops said they couldn't do, and like I just put blind spot detection and added a backup camera to the factory radio. It's like a 2016 E Series. It's not hard. Shops are just scared to work on them. You just charge them the Mercedes money. Like you make more money off of it. It takes a little longer, but I mean it's just like any other car. It's 12 volts. You know what I mean? To its core, it's 12 volts. So
That's
if
the
you
same thing
understand
with
12
working
volts,
on
you can
them.
work your way around anything.
There's still
Yeah.
now. Don't get me wrong, and I would never hate to say this and sound like I wish some people failure, but it's gonna this time and age is going to eliminate a lot of the people that don't want to spend the best right now. I see it now.
Scott went away.
Yeah, Scott went away. I see it now. I have customers that are still reluctant to take and spend the money on diagnostic equipment for vehicles. They're like, "Oh, I don't need to buy this. I don't work
It
on
makes you
European
money,
cars."
dude. I have
You're
a
like-
car scanner and I don't need it,
You're like, dude. Okay, so hear me out.
but it helps.
You're doing a
sometimes.
brake job. You're doing a brake job on a car. You take a wheel off. You're taking 2 bolts off for a caliper. Do you want
Right.
to do a $100 brake job or do you do a $500 brake job? Either one, you're taking a wheel off and a caliper. Okay, that's the same. You're screwing yourself by not staying with the times. And then not only that, all your American cars now are like global market vehicles that are the same thing as working on a Euro car. So like,
Yeah.
they're just different levels of niceness.
Yeah,
Right.
it's all becoming the same stuff. I mean,
Yeah, you gotta think about your Fords now. Other than the pickup trucks are made in the United Kingdom. How European does that get, bud?
yeah. Also,
American
the
made.
new Toyotas are so satisfying to work on. This thing's good. You gotta work Legos, man.
Shark Tank. Wait, bring that one up. They were on Shark Tank. I love Shark Tank.
Who was?
Someone was. D4L. My sister's friend was on Shark Tank season 2. Said it was the most stressful thing ever. And he made a deal but couldn't talk about it for 5 months till it aired. He had to fake to go to work. Wow.
No
Right,
way.
right. I believe that. Yeah, you can't say nothing.
Yeah.
That's insane. Wow.
It's
What
like
was the
Zach
product? I
did
kind of
talk
want to
about
know what the
product,
product
yeah.
was now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow.
Electric Code Wars.
So crazy. Imagine going 5 months, couldn't tell anybody you made like a huge business deal.
Right.
And then the next
You
thing
know
you
what
know,
I'm
you're on some shitty reality TV show that gets, on repeat on MTV.
Like your dreams are coming
Try-
true. You can't tell anyone for 5 months.
Try having Kicker telling
I
you
know
that
that
there's a new
feeling.
L7X coming out, a new Solo X coming out.
And
You
you're
can't
like-
tell anyone for a year and a half. That was tough, man.
Yeah.
Still more stuff I can't say, but you know what? At least the main cat's out of the bag. So
Andy, I deal with that every single day of my life, buddy. Okay? Yeah, I know. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, look
you
at
have
that, living
any
loud.
idea?
Ooh, party it up. What did you get that customers? Where's that from?
Bro, I don't even know where this came from. I just found it.
That's probably like one of their SEMA show things for like maybe
We're
like
gonna
their
be in
dirt bike
SEMA.
or something stuff.
Me and Cigar Joe at SEMA, we're gonna take a selfie.
Awesome.
We're gonna find the most ridiculous car and just take a selfie with it.
Yeah, be safe when you guys go down there. Scott, you're not going, right?
Yeah, taking in. I got some stuff to do. I got some work that's got to be done. We got some power walk stuff's got to be done. Some other stuff's got to be done. So
You
it's
can.
really
You just
vaca-
being Pete.
I'm playing. I'm seeing how my car's going flying out there. It's a possibility, but we do have some work to get done. And Joe will verify there's some work that I can get done that'll be beneficial while he's out of town doing other stuff too for work too. But we'll see how it goes.
That's right. Well, you know where I'll be. You know where I'll be.
But it's gonna be either way. Gonna be cool. I'm
Got
Yeah.
started going.
You think so? The
Probably.
plane tickets are cheap. The plane tickets are cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cheaper than you think.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. I made more money this week than I thought I did. I got a check and I was like, shit.
It's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some toolboxes contracts. See, a lot of times, a lot of people, so I don't think about it. So when I get there's no reason not to share it. So like, how I get paid with like the credit contract stuff like that, it's like a week or two out sometimes. But you have to think about that's a loan that goes off with purchase and all that stuff. So you just get like a random, fat bonus pretty much, taking
Every time you make your $20 a week payment, it's like cha-ching and got pocket percentage.
Yeah,
8
right,
cents.
yeah.
8 cents.
Bam,
8
bam.
cents.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe's right. Yeah, it's like a part of $1. You're like, yeah. Like, woo.
Adds up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see about 200 customers and make an okay living on it. Okay.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, did you repo that guy's tools?
I did.
No way. Is that the one you're like repo box special on Facebook?
I did. No, I sure did.
Hey,
I did.
pay your bills or lose your product. That's the way it works.
And
Oh
guess
my
what?
goodness.
I'm friends with people at his shop on Facebook too, so I know they saw it too.
And the thing is, like, if you're open with most of these Snap-on guys, like, hey, you know what? I'm running a
If
little
you
behind.
make the
Not a
slightest
single
amount
one's
of
gonna be like,
effort,
no, pay me now.
if you make any sort of effort, you're talking to me, you're straight up with me, I will go out of my way as no matter like you ask.
I've
Casey,
given
I
Scott
stress myself
$5
out.
before. Just like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
I've been like, bro, you're at like past due collection status. We have to do something on this fucking account to keep it from going to collections. Like, do me
living in a
solid.
different state.
I tell people that. Like, I had to repo this guy, and I was straight up. He's pissy with me, and I was like, hear me out, dude. I was like, do you think I wanted to come out of my way to come take your shit today? Do you think it's what I'm on vacation when I get done with work? Do you think I want to pick up your shit, bro? Like, I don't want to come here and show my ass and like sit here and go through all this and fill out the paperwork to pick stuff up. Brother, you pay your fucking bill and let you keep it and enjoy it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Damn.
yeah.
I just get mine taken out every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes it
It's
easy.
just like any other of my subscriptions.
Yeah.
I have a Snap-on subscription.
It's coming out.
Damn it.
Yeah, well, it's normally not the. I'm actually pretty good. Like my customers, the people I sell stuff to, I don't ever have any problems with this. We're like some
You have
shop
some good
hoppers,
guys.
people like that. Yeah, I take care of a lot. I have really good customers for the most part. I take and they know how it's going to be, and we establish that right. People that come into the route or transfer from somebody else that's either a shitty dealer or a shitty business like that, you got to play hardball with. And that's just like the guy that I had to repo or whatever. I didn't sell that guy any of that stuff. He just transferred in behind AF and business and business.
Wow.
Also got some good friends from your route too, you know?
Yeah,
Some guys that are my friends now too. Just from
for
meeting
sure.
you through your route and then meeting
Yeah,
them because you're
it's been a blessing to me, man. Just the contacts of people that I have and connections for amazing people or stuff that I need for business and all that jazz.
unless
for-
you need a paint job.
Yeah, except when I need a paint job. Every time I pay out of pocket for something to one of my, I'm not even going, like, okay, other than my fabrication stuff, one shop's not that. Pretty much 9 out of 10 times, if I go to one of my customers for something like that, I'm getting bent over and screwed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got like what, $5,000 stolen basically.
Do you
Fine,
run
man,
credit
so-
checks on these people, or how do you go about that?
I want, yeah, they're on the, okay, they'll do two different types of loans, a truck account and a credit account. The truck account's a loan between me and you don't have to have any kind of, there's no interest, I don't have to do any kind of credit checking with that. Credit account, yeah. And you wouldn't believe, too, like, how many times often it is, too, you'll have somebody you think you trust get on my truck account, like, hey, I need to make a big purchase. And then the next thing you know, you take and you run their credit, and the credit office is like, are you staying with them right now? They're like, you should not even be talking to this person, not just selling anything. Like, they owe Tom, Dick, Harry, and their mama money, they ain't paid them for 2 years. You're like, oh, I like this guy. You're like, he's just a piece of crap. And today, for instance, the end of the month, and I almost took a picture of it. I didn't want to start drama online. I almost took a picture of a list I had to take and do. And there's different kinds of accounts. There's like if every single person I had to call today to get money, it was on some kind of cosign or credit start loan, something like that. Every person that's past due behind, and I wanted to just show that and be like, this is why if you get declined on credit, nobody should freaking co-sign for you, because literally 9 out of 10 of them were bad people behind. Where it's like I co-signed with them. They're like, hey, I'm good for a loan, and you're stuck with it. So I'm sitting here at 7 o'clock at night on the tool truck, being like, Snap-on says you need a minimum of 5214, or like I have to pick up your shit on Monday. I'm gonna pick your shit. You know what I mean?
And I'm sure it was tough, like you were saying, like during COVID too, when these people, got laid off from their jobs and couldn't work. Like
First
they're
one
not
not
going
to
to
pay.
stop paying their house payment and pay their Snap-on bill.
Yeah.
Yes, and then there's like this whole year or whatever. That must have been pretty
Writing checks your ass can't cash.
Can't
Yeah.
cash.
I mean, no one expects that. You're not going to be working for the next 6 months. And then
Oh, for sure.
employment. Or,
Right,
Well,
the
they were
pandemic stuff,
it's
but
pretty
I
rough,
mean,
man,
Yeah,
we're
the
kind of
pandemic,
past
they
that
give
now.
they give
Yeah.
extensions and all this. It's just the same thing as it was going before. If anybody had made any kind of effort whatsoever, they were doing extensions and COVID relief and stuff like that. There was no. I think if they did it, like if you paid like a minimum for a month, they were extending you like 90 days or some dumb shit. And don't get me wrong, like any kind of credit thing at the time, you're still going to acquire interest on that, but like they weren't like, taking people's stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It is what it is. That's the reason I'm ready to do audio full time. This is really what it equates to.
Heck yeah, dude. How long you been doing Snap-on now? 8-10 years?
Going on 8. January 2nd will be 8 years.
That's awesome.
It's
That's
been a blessing to me. It's afforded me many things. That's what's got me here today. And a lot, just like in case you'll verify, like the Snap-on thing pays my bills, and that lets my side hustles just be my investments to make more money out of my investments. I don't have to take anything out of pocket. I don't put anything in right now. And I just let that money make me money, and I use that. I need to get into crypto stuff too, but I like making my side hustle money make me money also.
Yeah, I need to get you into crypto.
Me too.
I got like
Yeah, I
50
did-
bucks
I did
into,
that.
what's the main one? Bitcoin. I jumped on that Dogecoin, but I made 40 bucks off Dogecoin. I bought in at like 4 cents. I still haven't cashed it though. You know what I mean? I just left it in there. I'm like, oh, whatever. We'll see. Maybe I'll
I do
become a
pretty good.
millionaire in 10 years like Bitcoin. You know what I mean?
I do pretty good with cryptos.
Heck yeah. I mean,
I
it's
had,
just
like-
like it's lottery in a way, but it sometimes can be influenced. You know what I mean? I mean, any kind of stock
Yeah.
market can be. And that's another thing, with everything else going on with the stock market, gas
Cryptos
prices.
and ETFs are the way to go, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing, especially with the whole update with Facebook and Meta coming out. I mean, Ready Player One,
Meta
stuff
is-
like that.
At least just anybody 13 people that are watching, Facebook's not changing its name. Meta's a whole different side project. Yeah, but it's altered reality, which I'm kind of excited about. That's freaking pretty tits.
It sounds cool, but it's like, man, I'm really not going to get outside anymore. No, literally.
I want to have a hangout. We're going to be the Star Trek bridge crew, and it's going to be tits, okay?
Dude, that'd be
Awesome.
sick, yeah.
Yeah.
Or we're playing Forza.
Dude, I will
Which
be
Forza
down to
Horizon
play-
5 coming out soon. Gonna be sick.
Listen, I'm going to make a kicker club there. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the
Dude,
first
are you?
one. Yeah.
Dude, you on Forza?
No, he's talking about on the...
Oh, you haven't even talked about it, but let's play it.
Yeah. Because there's going to be a group for every group. You know what I mean? It's going to be something cool. But, I mean, it's scary, though, at the same time.
Imagine how toxic the car audio stuff's going to be when you go to the car and you agree. Yeah.
Right.
You like 3D pulling yourself like this is trash. They're just standing there talking crap to you because they're not real. You're like pull up your watch. Please report. Come here now, Zuckerberg. Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg standing in the corner like a security guard to all the rooms.
You're like, log out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Casey logged out of chat.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny.
Terrible, dude.
So we got to put a system in case it's rock crawler next. That'd be pretty
I'm
cool.
really telling
Oh,
you,
dude, I've been hard in the rock crawling.
Oh, I've seen some pretty cool RC
Okay,
systems,
maybe
man,
we'll-
and they go viral on TikTok, Facebook, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
and,
dude.
I've always wanted to meter one. You know what I mean? I bet you'd probably get a nice little like 115 out of it. It's gotta be. You know what I mean? Something.
Casey, you got the Is there anything where the body is in the back of that Blazer or no?
He's got to put a cab,
So
but that's
this
fine.
is
We can
the-
make a blow
That's
through.
that's a small one.
That's
the
the
small
24th scale.
That's sweet.
Okay.
That is sweet.
It's basically it would be like a competition rig, like super low gravity, no springs. Dude, and Scott can tell you these things will crawl anything.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then there's this. Caitlin's handed me.
Mhm.
I've seen that
That's the
one.
big boy right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The servo in here, like, it's strong enough it'll move the whole vehicle.
Wow.
When you put speakers in that,
This
Yeah.
needs a wall.
Well,
well, you're
Could
gonna
do
go
it.
on like Parks Express tonight and find some 1-inch subwoofers.
the equivalent to 18s, right?
Yeah, they got them. Yeah.
I'm trying to get Joe into
Probably
calling.
put 4 of them all lined up there. You know.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
4 of
but-
them coming in.
We have a
There you
little
go.
local spot where it's like there's a bunch of rocks by the lake where it's really fun to take the crawlers out there and go up and stuff. And we're going down there to run our crawlers, and all of a sudden we turn around and Cigar Joe's there with like a bunch of tacos with his fiance, just like come and eat dinner, just eating tacos by the lake, out of nowhere. Never met
It's
him.
my
there
favorite
before.
place to go. I love going there.
I had no idea. We never talked about it. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
so
where we go there all the time. It's really we get tacos on the corner. We go there. It's really nice.
It's
Yeah.
funny, so I was talking to both of you, and like I didn't put 2 and 2 together that you're going to the same place. Didn't even cross my mind.
to kill
Great
our-
minds think alike. What can we say?
Yeah, I know, right? It's a good place to go.
So that's where Steve Barber's having his show, but just like outside of it in the parking lot in a way. Is that's how
It's
that
got
works?
like a whole area I want to say for the
Like
car.
SEMA?
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I wouldn't think that you'd be like blasting like 160.
No, they gave him
EV
approval for like
basically.
155 or like 150 outside the vehicle. What I was told.
They're
Oh
probably
my
like
God,
expecting
that's-
rocket ships, though. You know what I mean? When you
Yeah.
tell someone that doesn't know car audio 150 dB, they're like, "Oh man, they're going to be launching to the moon tonight." You know, so
But that's
expect it to be
outside
loud.
the car. If you're saying 150 dB outside the car, they
Mhm.
can demo full volume.
That's what
Right.
that's what it was. From my understanding, they were told 150 outside the car.
Hey,
Yeah.
what happens in
Pretty loud.
Vegas stays in Vegas.
I bet multiple people are saying like I give them doing it, letting you do it one day, and they're gonna be like turn it down.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
I know
mean-
Slamology, they have people literally boycotting it. It's
What?
sad.
We demoed
Yeah.
it the whole time though. I didn't get ever get
What
told.
kind of
I got-
what?
They're going to like the municipality. You know what I mean? They're
Oh,
taking the
oh.
proper steps. Yeah, they're trying to. They've been trying to shut them down.
Yeah.
Uh,
Flameology
sad.
this year was so hot, dude. I believe 2
What's on?
subs.
I'm 100% going this year. I was gonna go, this year. Well, next year. I was gonna go this year, but then I was gonna go down to Kicker, and then that didn't happen. So, but
Yeah, we were gonna go to that too.
right.
Bayou should be good.
They might be having that in
Yeah, Bayou
springtime.
Show's gonna be cool. Yeah.
Because I know I was talking to Kip, and he even talked about it having the OSS meet. Maybe whenever they release the L7X,
Yeah.
all
Oh,
one
man,
big-
yeah.
that'd be cool.
I wish
know.
audio season was this time of year, like into the winter. I mean, it's a better time to run your equipment. You know what I mean?
Right, you guys are down south. I mean, you probably got 60-degree weather almost all year, close to it. You know what I mean? Like average. Compare it up here.
I think it's 100 in the summertime.
Yeah.
Oh
it
yeah.
could-
Oh yeah.
dude,
We're in
Summer
we're
down there is wild.
in Atlanta, North Georgia, bro.
Yeah.
It's hot.
yeah.
Right.
So we get the swamp ass season here.
Well, I know
Yeah.
Mecca and other orgs, I'm sure, they have SPL competitions all year, but just not up here, obviously,
Yeah.
because who's going to come out in the snow? My first year of Team SP Loud, I literally had it every week for the entire year. It
Oh,
was
wow.
bad. It was fun, that was before we metered and everything and stuff like that, and like had the big competitions. But we always gathered out, and I'd start the show at like 5, and then like ended at like 10, 11 o'clock. And then people were literally pulling up in the snow, getting demos, you know what I mean, shaking off their boots before they're getting in the car to go get a demo, just to get warm, So, and we had some big bangers come out too. It's not like it was just, us and the Honda Civics with 210s, It
Yeah,
was legit.
I know a guy with a Honda Civic with 210s that's loud as shit.
Retardedly loud, yeah.
Yeah,
Top
RJ.
end.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
got two. I think it's ZV5 15s on a solid 8 at like 0.25 or something like that, or 0.35.
Ooh. Oh, he's probably
Yeah, they were
clamping.
slamming, dude. I think he's
All
doing
8K.
like a
Yeah,
50
right there.
with 210s, 50 out of the trunk, not sealed up.
Right.
It's pretty impressive.
Damn.
And they're just getting it.
He just joined our team, yeah. I was like, we need to go check this guy out. And he came over, and he's just like a super nice dude. So we all like hung out for a little bit, and we went to hear his build. And I got in that thing, man, and he turned it up, and I'm like, oh, it's a car, 210s. So that thing like really surprised me,
That's
for
awesome.
sure.
I love 10s. 10s hit great.
Too.
Yeah, me too. Caitlin's car slamming now that her subs are broken in with those Alpha Sonics, but we're gonna upgrade before the Pride stuff comes in. I want to get her 2 Pride, either Onyx or Sapphire 10s to see what they do in there. But of course, she wants like the STs, which the basket here and the motors here, it's like the same. Like you can barely fit it into the box. You know what I'm talking about? Like the whole cutout is the size of the speaker.
Flush.
Yes, the Pride ST10.
It'd be pretty sick. I'm excited for the price stuff to come, man. It'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, I'm really excited, bro. All my subs are built. I got the ST18s coming, and he sent me pictures. They're done. They're built. We're waiting on Jordan's TV3s. He's doing 12 TV3s on 317 days, and that's sure that I mean, he's gonna catch a charge, dude. He's gonna kill something with that.
Yeah.
It's
It's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
We got about 3 minutes left. We're gonna end at an hour and 20 minutes, guys.
Oh, we're still live?
Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
live.
Oh, I thought we were on the after show.
No,
I
yeah.
probably should have told people about
Yeah,
Jordan's
I know that was some
build
top
today.
secret stuff right there. Everyone, forget what you heard.
It'll be alright.
It's okay. It's gonna be a while for like.
He's just getting some kickers. That's
Yeah.
the real story. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Kicker. Kicker's great equipment.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Anybody disagrees, put 4 in their truck, they'll change their mind.
I want to hear that guy's 6 order that he's building with the all red on the inside.
Mhm.
That box looks amazing.
He came old Arrows. He came full circle, didn't he? In the kicker club. The
Oh,
Cobra
you
6
mean
guy.
Euros? That
Euros,
our
whatever, yeah.
baffle
Built that
guy.
6 order for
Yeah.
Yeah, he went full
Or
circle.
six
He's coming around, you know. From my understanding, he had a conversation with an enclosure designer, and he was like, "Yeah, they're not lying to you." And he's been nice since then.
Right.
But-
Oh, he's been tagging us in every post
Everything.
though. So,
I've been,
but
hey,
it's cool, you know, and that's
see him come
that's
around.
what you like. You want people to like come around, and be like, okay, maybe I wasn't exactly 100% right, but
Oh, I love
try
it. I
not to
think
be,
it's great.
you know, right. And it looks like it's like a decent
It's a
sounding
super nice
system.
build. Yeah, I
Right.
love to hear
It's
it.
clean. It's done right.
He's got
Um,
3 ways in the front and back doors. Then for things like the Kappas or whatever in it.
right.
Dude, we have to go hear Grant's truck.
I heard it the other day.
Was it awesome? What?
It was okay.
Tight.
I'm gonna tell him to
It's
watch
okay.
this. so he
Ain't
can
loud. That's the ain't loud face right there.
I
I
took
see
in.
it.
No,
Wow,
it's like
sorry.
it's kind of like a. He says it's an SQL build, and
Every time
he
someone
needs to-
says that, it's because it's not as good as they thought it was gonna be.
I bet he has a
He's a-
lot of mid bass.
it has a lot of mid bass, and
What's
he
his
needs to
best
really
Steven audio
really
too,
work
yeah.
on. Yeah, he needs to work on his imaging on the center points like that.
That's what he's doing. Yeah. He
Yeah.
got the audio control DM8
Mhm.
or DM10. It's got the 8 channel inputs and 10 outputs.
It's funny. He's got that
Jeez.
single
Kinda
shallow
neat.
sub or whatever. So we demoed his truck, and I played the same song in my truck or whatever. He was like, "Man, my bass is gonna suck now," and I'm like, "We can wall it off, Joe. We can wall it right off." Yeah.
Might as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a sweet truck though.
I was like, Grant, when do you have anybody in your backseat ever? Never.
What's the SQL setup consist of?
It's like
He's got
Casey does-
2 Stevens Audio 6.5 drivers in each door. So he's got 8 total 6.5 drivers in his doors.
Woo!
And then he's got a pair of the, I think it's a 3.5 inch mids. I don't know what they are.
the,
in the
ki- the
front.
kickers.
Like some midlers.
I think
Are they
yeah.
kickers?
Yeah, they're kickers.
Yeah.
Like the
And then
DS or
Stevens
CS or
Audio
whatever.
Silk Gum tweeters, which those tweeters are insane, man.
What's the base? Like what's in the trunk?
Oh, kicker comp BTs, I believe.
Hmm.
Or the shallow mount kicker truck sub.
Oh,
Ends, I believe. Or
It's
one
Oh.
really,
just one or two of them.
I think it's
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
I think
that's
it is
he's got
one.
more mids than bass. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
it's really,
He's coming from
55,
JL.
60, 55, 65 hertz,
Mm-mm.
in that range. It sounds good though. It's yeah, I mean it's loud.
He probably could favor on like rock music. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because he's got all
He's
that
like
kind
he's a
of
rocker guy anyway, really. Mostly.
right. So he doesn't want that big booming bass anyway. Plus, you said it's in a truck, right? Is that like a pickup truck?
It's like
extended
F150.
cab?
A sweet ass
Yeah.
F-150. It's like
Yeah.
a platinum. Yeah. He actually has a basher course in his backyard, dude. I don't know if you knew that. He has a YouTube channel where he's like bashing RC cars. I'm gonna take the
Jeez.
Stampede over there when I go get a demo and just launch it near 100 feet. Hopefully, just crash it. Oh, so I get another RC car that goes like 65 miles an hour, and the first thing Scott did was crash into a mailbox.
Dude, it like
And then I watched it under the neighbor's Camry.
Those things are wicked sometimes.
Dude, I like okay.
So
So you have to think
bad.
about it. So you're doing 60, going away from you is not that bad. Coming back at you, you're like the slightest little thing, and it's reversed. You know, because like it's coming at you, and I like there's like a little rain ditch around all of our neighborhood. It like barely caught the corner of it. It went like up in the air at the mailbox, started tumbling and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my god, I broke the body mount. Other than that, it's fine though.
Just
That's
gonna
what,
send it.
that's what they're meant to do, though, man. You just have fun, and then I mean, like a body mount's $15.
Yeah.
You know, that crash is worth $15.
That was
And then-
worth 15.
I flat out through the neighborhood, and it's not a really big cul-de-sac, but when you hit the brakes, you have to be pretty gentle. If you push them too hard, it just has a front flip and goes out of control, and that's what happened to me. And it got
Oh,
wedged under the neighbor's Camry, and Scott had to go get it.
There's no ABS on your truck?
No, no.
Gotta fix that.
0 to 60, 60 to 0.
Yeah.
Zero is no it goes
60 to 0, 0 to somersault.
yeah the somersaulting.
I want to
Yeah.
get into like doing LTO batteries on RC cars because you know
What kind does that
LiPo,
come with? Like LIMH?
LiPos, it's all lipo basically.
Oh, lithium iron phosphates. Oh well.
Yeah, but I mean, think about like if you did like an LTO technology instead.
Right, you probably get
Yeah.
a little bit better for the weight and size for sure.
Right. Which is what you need to save on. That'd be something interesting to look into. Nobody take my idea.
Might as well just go with some super capacitors and just build a shit ton of
I know,
them.
right? Could you imagine? Ridiculous.
Be super light.
I don't know what
Runs
it
too
is
long.
about like the 12 volt guys. Like a lot of these guys are also in the RCs too, and I can kind of understand why, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My buddy
really
Justin,
comfortable.
he's real big into them too.
Yeah. You can
There's
get
one that I
deep
want
into these
now.
things, bro.
That's insane.
Deep. There's
Yeah,
an SCS6. Put a picture of it up, Scott.
I'm pulling it up now.
We're getting one. Me and Scott are getting one.
Okay.
Even though, dude, he pulled a car. It's an RC car, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's got some torque.
Yeah, it's got a giant. I think it's is it a Spectrum? It's got a huge brushless motor the size of like a Red Bull
Wow.
Dude, I want one bad.
Yeah, you almost need a brushless motor instead of like a geared motor or
It's
a
nice, right?
brush motor.
As soon as they're not a Jeep or they got like the other bodies, I'm buying one of these.
I love his channel. I know he did one with like a bike of like the lowest gear possible setting, and he literally was like towing a car, like one of his cars, with a bicycle. But it had like a big old sprocket on the front and a pretty big one on the
Dude,
front.
that is $1,100 retail out of the box. You buy batteries and a charger plus $1,100. You're towing a car.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Who needs a tow rig when you have an SCX6?
Look at that. He's pulling the freaking Explorer with it.
Would you look at that?
Yeah.
Dude, the big rig guys are sweating right now. They're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Same. Wow.
One day.
That's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
That's a lot of torque. How many watt hours is that battery?
They're going like milliamp hours. So I think the one that he was running was like 5,000 milliamp hour with a 30C discharge probably. And
Okay.
it's probably like a 3C.
That's a high discharge though for that.
They
small
run
battery. Yeah.
up to 4S batteries, but the
That's
main,
just like
main is 3S.
e-bike stuff. I know I want to build an e-bike battery out of LTOs or maybe just lithium ion, vape batteries, because that's what a lot of them are consisted of. They're
Dude, they have
13
LTO
series,
18650s
four parallel.
now.
Yeah.
they have
Did
what?
you know that? They have LTO 18650s now.
What? Really?
Yes, bro. Look it
Yeah,
up.
it's really
They're cheap.
towing Ed. The hey Casey, go over the Power Hog amp line real quick. They asked real fast. What was it?
Right,
1502, 2001. Power Hog amp line up.
Yeah.
What size amps are available? It's the 1502, the 2000 by 1, 4000.
Yeah, the 2500 one full range, and then there's a 2K, 4K, and 7500, and a 5500.
They're all in stock right now.
And then the
There's actually about to be out of 7500 units tomorrow.
Yeah, those went really fast. Like they were immediately gone. Like the day they arrived, we got okay. So it's weird. Our order comes in, and 1 amp comes in, and we're like, "Oh, cool! All the amps are here," and it was only 1 amp, and then that was gone that day.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, it's really towing. He has to sit on it to take and get to pull the heavy stuff in. But,
yeah, it doesn't get traction by itself to tow something that big, but I mean, I've seen videos of the SCX 6 crawling, and like it has crazy angle, and it does really good just stock out of the box for a crawler. Anyways, it has really nice.
Here's one on a Canyon.
That's just crazy. It has that much torque. I can't believe that. Like literally to pull him, let alone pull him and the car. Like that's a lot of current. That's a lot of power.
Also, the motor and ESC that's in here are really, really good. Like it's a really, really good setup.
It looks like a Jeep going down the aisle, like down to whatever. It doesn't even look like an RC.
Scale. Yeah, that's reason I like the realism. I can't wait till they do. See, they started out with the Jeeps in the smaller sizes. I can't wait for them to do the trucks and all the other stuff too. Like some of the stuff that people do with scale stuff, man, looks real as crap.
Yeah, for sure. Like the guys that Scott did a rusty paint job.
Yeah.
On a Betty body, which is kind of cool.
This does sound pretty cool.
I bet you could probably add some weight to that as like a ballast, so it could have more traction in like different areas.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
So on my rig, I've added like all the brass on the front to make the front heavier.
Grab it real quick.
Huh?
Grab it.
Grab what?
The truck to show the weights.
Oh my god, dude! You know how hard that's gonna be right now? I don't think it can. Let me get it.
Never mind.
I'm glad you guys are running the show late because I'm not gonna go live tonight. I just want to relax.
Yeah, what I want to go try is.
Thank you.
I actually got to get off here. I got to catch this call.
Hey, Joe.
Oh,
okay. Cold?
Thanks for hanging in. Appreciate
Gentlemen, it was good hanging with y'all. I got to catch this
Joe.
call.
Later, Joe.
Have a good night,
buddy.
I'll probably
see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I'll be seeing Joe at SEMA. Which Scott should come to. Okay, yeah, so let's see. I don't know if this helps or hurts.
Okay, I can see.
There's a brass bumper mount under there with this monster servo. Like it can move the whole vehicle. It's really strong servo.
That's for the servers for the steering, right?
Yeah, and you got brass portals.
Wow.
So the biggest thing is gonna be lowering the center of gravity.
Yeah.
So you get like really front bias. And then also, I put an overdrive gear in the front, so the front wheels actually spin faster than the rear wheels.
Oh wow!
So when you're like,
what is Living Loud like?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's Living Loud with Andy. Check him out on YouTube.
Hell yeah, dude.
SJC knows me. He knows the deal. I think he's just playing. Let's smoke some subs. Gotta have good amps so they have protective circuitry, but yeah, you could still trip an amp.
Can you see this, Andy?
5,000 mAh, so 5 amp hours, and then 3 series, 11.1 volts, so 3.7 per, 25C continuous, 50C. Okay, so that's literally an 2C charge. Wow, so that's got some discharge current, just like these vape batteries, really. So, and you said that's the.
I think these are pouch cells too. I haven't taken one apart, but some of these batteries are 18650s that go in these. So,
you go and plug Paul down here. My buddy Paul here, he's doing. He makes RC parts here locally in North Georgia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we can get with
I should connect with them immediately.
You know what's crazy?
No.
What's up, Ed? How you doing, buddy?
What up, Ed?
Since we got Ed here, if are you making any more Eddie ports? Because that was like one of the first videos I seen of yours, and I thought that was like a cool design. You know, to get that aero port shape in a way, yet efficient and can fit in different ways. I really like that.
Dude, the haters' comments on that post is ridiculous. about the
Really,
Ford.
I didn't even look at the comments on it.
Yeah, I was like, this guy is.
I'm excited to go get. I don't have it with me. I'm gonna put that new mirror. We got 2 of them. The mirror orange panel for my RBX4. Put that on tomorrow.
Oh yeah, dude.
Me sick.
It does look sick. I like the
yeah.
orange color.
Ed, when is the freaking fan controller coming out? Like, take my money. I'll buy it right now. I want you to display one. I'll take that one too. Like right now. Like, I'm like literally waiting to wire my fans to the RBX4 for the fan.
Yeah, me too. What's up, Ed? Let's get it.
Get off work and you hammer me the work question as soon as I hop in a freaking live stream. This is why I don't comment. It almost makes you wonder too, like how many like the big YouTube people watch a lot of the stream stuff like that, and like I can't comment because it's gonna hijack the freaking chat.
Yeah. I know. I don't see EXO jump in much stuff. You know what I mean? Like obviously Derek and Rob and a few others and stuff, but
if you're ever
even Steve Mead jumps in. You know?
Dude,
yeah, but
EXO will absolutely just like
he's cool.
On every piece of your build. Like when you give him a demo, like he gets a demo. He's like in all these corners and like looking at stuff and like peeking into things. He's like super into it, dude. If there's one guy that's like about this audio live, it's crazy.
Sick.
Like look at any video of him getting a demo. He's like really checking his builds out.
I'm gonna go buy Speedy right now.
What?
It's Black Friday.
So it'll be,
so we'll get one Black Friday.
That's the fan control?
Yeah.
I like the name, Speedy.
Boom. Got me in.
It's like simple but sexy.
Yeah. I think we got a record here, Scott. My camera's just now starting to glitch out a little bit. And it's been an hour and a half. I messed with some settings. I think I got it right now.
Ed,
I just opened my MacBook and put it in my lap.
I know, I gotta be all fancy. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Sweet. You guys got anything you want to do before we close up? We're at the hour and a half mark now, guys. A little bit over then.
We had a fun episode.
Yeah, I like it. Dude, it seems like a lot of our just straight up relaxed ones end up being great episodes.
Yeah.
What do you get? I don't know what we'll be doing next week. I'm going to be on vacation. Casey's going to be out at SEMA.
Dude, let's have an all-crawler episode.
It could be a crawler episode. I'm not against that. I don't have any crawlers left.
We'll call it Crawling Thunder.
Crawling Thunder?
Yes.
I don't think it's the best episode yet. I think Kip holds the reins on that one for me.
Dude, Kip was so good to have on here, man. I learned, dude, in that episode alone, I learned more than I've learned in like months.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy. It's the knowledge in that dude's head. I'd love to pick his brain some more.
We need to get
Kip back, dude.
We need to get Kip back. We need to get Ed on sometime. I'd like to pick his brain about stuff.
Kip and
we can talk about animals. Yeah, talk about cars, animals. Because, you know, dude, time I get on there, every time I see a cute animal, it's like Edward Lester posted it. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
All right, you guys can come on, but you're only allowed to talk about cats.
Yeah, we can
That's
only... it. For 1 hour.
Don't you dare mention the dog.
Cats for the win.
And people are like, what are we watching?
Yeah, they're like, these guys really like cats. I don't know.
It's like the first episode of WandaVision. Like, what the fuck is this?
Heck yeah. So on that note, we're going to wrap it up. I appreciate everyone's time. I hope you guys go out and have a good time this weekend. And on Halloween, you know, have time, have fun, but be responsible, be safe out there. You make sure your kids have a good time. Make sure they get candy and do it safely, all that jazz. I appreciate everyone's time. You guys got any closing words before I hit the end broadcast button?
Stay living loud. Be safe this Halloween weekend.
What's the cutoff age for trick-or-treating?
Never. We can go too, buddy.
Never, bro. Keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah.
I'll dress as a big M&M.
Yeah, tomorrow's mischief night, so be safe, be smart.
Yeah. Everyone, I appreciate your time. Have a good night, guys. I'll see you all next week on Rolling Thunder. Episode 22 is a wrap. You have a good weekend.